So some people know that I'm half Swiss and half British. And this poem is called Switzerland 911. All hail the Alps and their glassine ice stream, the Stube with her Calvados and cafe cream, or the sausages air-dried in glacial attics in every barn across the heartland. Oh, and the cheeses, the little halls that harbor untold secrets even from the magic of physics. Outside, watch the ibex ascend the tallest crags like stairs. One night, we're drinking beers and kirsch, playing blackjack with American tourists. What do they call it? 6-card stud? And Armin, decked out in his Swiss Army uniform, the epaulettes put him at the rank of colonel, a leader of men and machines in the hearty mountain division. All hail the Alps and their hollowed-out interiors. Someplace in the Vaud, there's an entire city embedded in the mountain below the chasm, cleared for centuries by avalanches and foxes and lone bobcats who pounce for field mice. On the central square, inside the mountain city, there is a soccer field where the goalposts are just a few feet further apart. And Alesh, the local policeman, dribbles his way toward the end line. Tor, Tor are the cheers that echo Thursday nights across the valley. Finally, you light a cigar, and the smoke finds its way up the stairs. On your way up, you give me a wink and a note. My room is 911, it says. I bow out of the last hand, fold on a perfect bobtail straight. For you, the idea of time is self-evident. It must be spent before ascending those final steps where birds migrate the Milky Way, or deep into the liquid of mathematics, or all compasses pointing true north. So up I arise, engineering and economics leading the way, and in 911, your navel becomes the heart of the galaxy, a black hole collapsing in on itself, all those Calvados atoms swirling in a haze of Swiss bravado. A short meditation on birdsong. All the models of creation were concerned with meaning and purpose, at least in this human's mind. All those floating birds, the blessed conferred. But for a moment, just listen. Find your longing. All the models of creation are metaphors. All those waves sweeping space, trying to find a melody. All those words simply a place to put your harvest. All those feathers, wings charging up. All the longing fingers over the mountain via the mailman, the words, the language of the birds. In truth, a model emanation with meaning and purpose. And so the day flew by in all her graces, sun high, rain in the nodes. There were 14 angels. God pays his worshippers in coconut oil tonight. The burnt grass on the incline grew there. Indignation too is a language. I'll give you £1,000, he said, to change the language. Don't stop with them, you said. One of these other nights you'll hear the piano playing a melody nearby, as if seashells could speak to an empty home. The world collapses, and yet you talk of these deep caves in her wide eyes, you said. Nothing could have been further from the truth. How would you like it, you said, if the olive in the martini ended up in your beard? There are those who passed by in the middle of the night, who never pay a dime, and there was me, ich, moi, je ne sais quoi, attempting a semblance of normality. Then, out of the suburbs of nothingness, with their blank cars and groomed dogs, the cats, the ever-shitting cats. Remember, there were once 1,000 angels, and now there are only 14. Is that a reason to rejoice? Remember, you have to finish that cocktail before you go to sleep. For every living apple, there is an unfair trade in language and imagination. Let's meet at the river's edge. Let us succor to the limit of it, unwind the word of it. Was there ever a better time to write my repertoire? Never a word of it. The undoing of it ends you up in the drink. Toward the Holy Land. Jerusalem was a place in my mind like a jewel in the lotus flower, a holy grail, a shooting star, a meteor, the flow of the Milky Way, where with a single word we are held hostage. And who would forget the right hand thrumming on the bar stool, the hollow sound of dead bone, or the pages, the thousands upon thousands of pages disappeared. The English say they came to this place to write history, not for the jackals or the foxes, not for the mangy lions and their filigree of weeds. Of course, the first word was good. Get them out there and preach the word. Doesn't everything lead us here to the Holy Land? The home I seek is other. She spreads her boundaries on a shard of pottery or a glazed beaker that has been blessed by Greek and Roman and Egyptian wine, by the words of philosophers, the seers and the sayers, all those folks climbing ivy, breathing hot, afraid of sudden death but clinging to the crevices, the outcrops, like the goats in their hard toes, the running across cliff tops over the thinnest jigsaw of geology, out of the ground, the difference between distance and come here alone. Sit down, take a breather. Today is the day you will finally blow your own horn, but try to remember, thou shalt not want, thou shalt not lie low inside the house. Dwell in the old landscape among the mice and the lice. Heavy water. Everything measured can be seen from the outside. We work slowly in blown glass and cut crystal. Someplace else the rain is no more. The old handle on which the winch creaks and whines, the bucket is dry. What great freedom have we won ourselves with this, he thinks. Out in the pasture, the weeds are taking over. The cows have xylophones for ribs. The earth, parched, is singing, reach for the black oil inside me. At the bank. Filing patents is an expensive business. How do you define a wavelength of light to the common eye? Or the speed of such in its out and in, its inside out from within? Dear sir, please acknowledge all documents received heretofore. You know there's more to come. Fill your pockets with light, he says, offering me a glass of pink bitters with a slice of lemon on the side. You forgot the combination, he says in a sly smile. Were we not about to look into that secret space of creation? How can you put a number on that? Nothing filled out, nothing gained, you say, and hope to leave it at that. I hesitate to put this on paper, but filing patents is an expensive business. So you raise your glass and say, good riddance to all that. Visa application. More paperwork with boxes. Does the X mean what it says? And the tick is more than a tick, but a flea in the ear, rather than a fly in the ointment? An upturned star, both legs reaching up and all embracing. A resolute yes. Does the paperwork come in boxes? Who knows what she says? Yes, she with the horn-rimmed glasses. She with a cockamamie smile. The flea in your ear was rattling and buzzing and uncorking your mind. What was it she said? I. have all the boxes. What do you have?
I think we need to keep it to 8 minutes per person.
Okay, I didn't realize that was, okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, next up.